shout out to you for being here. As Jackie's already said, it is a Saturday morning or afternoon now. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to join us, so we're very grateful for that. So we'll try our best to answer your questions. As Jackie said, remember Jackie's book is a full-on fiction book, so she doesn't want to give away too much. So if you've read the book and you're dad, don't spoil it for other kids here, please, man. Right?
Yeah.
So I think when you are asking the questions, especially for Jackie's book, let's ask them in mind of that some people might not have gotten even to the second or third book. I think that's really important. Of course, there are conversation boundaries, and I think that all three of us will be able to say that's a question I cannot answer if they cannot answer it, or if they say let's take it offline. Just one thing to remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I need to put that out there as clear as possible. So I cannot answer financial advisory questions. However, we can speak financial education. TT is not a doctor, a medical doctor. So he does not know what the concoction is for COVID. He just knows what worked for him.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, please feel free. Oh, Jackie doesn't know where this honji is for all the money in Johannesburg. Sorry. So sorry. She can't hook you up either. So sorry to disappoint. But however, please do feel free to ask questions. We've got mics here. The team is here. They will roam around with the mics. So we can start there.
The book came out in 2017 December. When the book launch had to happen, the night before, 2,000 copies of my books were stolen from a certain bookshop, and they were burnt, and somebody sent me a video showing me that I've burnt everything. We had to work throughout the night to reprint to make sure that the evening there are books. Other than the fact that I got driven out of the road, I had to change 2 cars, I had to change homes. There was a time in 2018 where I lived in a safe house for 3 months. Things are a bit different now in terms of security. My father is on board because of his military background. He takes care of my security now. I know there are places where I cannot openly go. But also from a legal side, a lot of people tried to discredit me so that the truth doesn't come out, so that I'm seen as a liar. Because now you've got things like these commissions that are proving my story to be correct in how they loot money to entertain themselves and their counterparts. And what I also find is when people feel I'm hitting close to home, they are quick to say, how dare you try to destroy my family? When you have been killing people, getting young people raped, human trafficking, stealing from the government to travel to Dubai, to go where and where and where. And here I am, I'm saying, number one, I'm not mentioning your names. However, I am saying to those who do not know what's happening, do not fall in the trap because you might not be one of the survivors. How many girls disappear every day? Now because we've got social media, we see all these videos where human trafficking is vast. I'm like, no, it's not like it's peaking now. It's been happening. It's just that it's on video. It's on video. So when it comes to my life personally, I'm not married, I don't have kids, and I'm not pregnant right now. However, I have dedicated my life so much so to my writing and educating that when somebody comes and asks me out, they usually say, so are you gonna put my laundry in your book? Are you gonna tell people what I do? Are you gonna get like a background check on me? I'm like, of course I'm gonna get a background check on you. Let's start there. I'm gonna do a credit check. Let's go there. And I'm gonna also do who you are associated with. Because at the end of the day, they might be people who are sent to find things about me so they destroy me. So I have learned that the hard way, where my book was leaked before it was launched. It was sent around in a PDF so that the truth is distorted and they are able to edit it. I've had food poisoning at the airport. I've had people come into my hotel room with an extra key. When I woke up, everything in my room was like, my clothes were cut, and I didn't know how that happened. So I'm very specific with where I eat, whom I eat with, who I allow in my space. I block a lot of people online, on my phone, everywhere. I've got literally 3 frames. I do not do socials. I don't go to events like this where I will be an easy target, or the media will find ways to make me seem to be fighting with someone because they're still trying to distort the truth so that the truth doesn't come out. I'm very specific with things that I do, and it might come across as arrogant or boastful or just, oh my God, why the hell would you want to do that? It's not that serious. In South Africa, it's very serious because politicians kill their counterparts. And for a little girl like me, I'm only 32, they would wipe me out in 2 seconds, so very quickly.
Switch on them, I just want to say a sentence. I just want to say, Titi, move to that side so I can move a bit closer to you, because wow, Sisi, if there's a target on you right now.
You just want to get close to me, just say it.
No, if there's a target, it's okay. You are witnesses, okay? And honestly speaking, guys, I feel like at any given moment, especially for where I come from, in terms of my history with these politicians and my family and all of that, I'm actually not scared of death in this moment, because I feel like I have written books that will definitely be classics. And my legacy will stand the test of time. And I would expect the people who have followed my truth to speak on my behalf and say, this is what she stood for. You're not only here to launch our books, but you're here to witness the truth about what we write about. So I am not scared of anybody. There was a point where I was really scared, where I got food poisoned and I couldn't go anywhere. I was in ICU and they had to drain my, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I don't have kids, I don't have that. And I said, no, you forget who you are. You forget what you stand for. And if you are chosen to do something, surely protection will come naturally.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I will never be scared of anyone, whether it's a powerful celebrity, it's a politician, it's a business person, it's a boyfriend. I kick boyfriends out very quickly.
Yes.
So I am not scared of anybody. So when it comes to my work, I will literally die for my books, and I'm okay with it because I know what I'm doing. And if I won't do it, like history has proven that nobody else will do it. Mama Winnie's dead. Who else is dead? Who's gonna do it? People don't have the guts to do it because it's like, oh, what are people gonna say about? I don't care what people say about me. I don't have a big endorsement who will say, oh, Jackie, if you talk about sex, if you talk about this politician, we will pull you out. No, I don't have that because I back myself up. That's what I do. So, yeah.
Hi. I was just passing by and I found this really interesting. I haven't read any of your books, but it was quite inspiring standing here. I am your age when you started writing at 28, and I wanted to know what advice would you give a young lady, not even starting a career, just general life advice. And I would say this is for the panel. Like maybe just one tip to give for just general life advice.
So the one advice I can give you, which I went through with writing this book, is I got a lot of flack from social media, especially Twitter. People were saying to me, what is he going to tell us about his COVID experience? Day 1, I coughed. Day 2, I cried. So people can be quite insensitive.
Yeah.
But what was important to me is to own my narrative. Tomorrow my kids will be young ladies and they will be able to read about the experience, because not only was I positive, but my entire family tested positive. And I talk about it in the book. The emotional drainage that comes with that, the pain of isolating. I don't think a lot of people understand what it does to you to be isolated away from your family. You can see them at a distance, you can speak to them. Imagine having to call your kids on a video call and you're staying under the same roof. Now I'm sure most of you are parents can just imagine the pain that it comes with. So I wanted to document that experience so that someone else out there who might have tested positive can also relate. There are people who are still testing positive. Just because we are on level 1 doesn't mean the coronavirus is gone. And I think for me, it's about owning the narrative so that someone else can benefit. My book is about bringing hope and healing to our nation.
I was a teacher at some point.
Whoa.
I don't know why. But I taught people's children. And the one thing,
I hope to see them after like a couple of years how they turned out. But the one advice that I could probably give you is to start. Start whatever it is that you want to do. When I went to Rhodes University, by the way, I failed my degree nicely.
Yes.
And I know why. I partied, I drank. Hey, it was fun.
Yes.
And after Rhodes, I at some point in my life I thought it was done. You know, I came from a work school. I had conquered that. I had been one of the top achievers at school, went to Rhodes University and was brought to the ground. And when I left Rhodes University, my father literally wrote me off and he was like, I'm tired of paying, so go and see what the world has got for you. And what I realized was I had an opportunity to start again. And I started. If I can tell you some of the things that I've done since then to now, it's crazy. I always tell people that in the next 2-3 years, I could be a medical doctor if I want to be. Because me, I start.
Yes.
We will see. There. You know, people wake up every day, they write their action plans, and they're like, I wing it. Every day, I wake up and I wing it. And whatever it is, the one thing I've learned is not, and maybe it's because I'm a middle child, and nobody cares about a middle child until you make enough noise, right?
Yeah.
I say, whatever it is that you want to do in life, just start. You can either win or you can fail, but you will never know if you don't start.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been the magic of everything that I do. I'm telling you, when I started television, I had never been on television. I went there, and I've got, let me tell you, I got some confidence. I don't know where I get it from, but when I don't know, that's when I probably got the most confidence. It's when I know that I don't have confidence. But I remember actually in grade 3, I played netball for the first time. And the only reason I made it to the team was because I didn't know netball at all. I didn't know the rules. But the only reason I made it to the team was because I was the one collecting everybody. Guys, let's warm up. Let's warm up. Guys, are you ready? I was giving, so I think it's very important that you sometimes wake up, get dressed, and show up.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Yes.
Shoot. Honestly, I would say tell the truth. Tell your story the way you want to tell your story. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for somebody to read your story. Don't send chapters to anybody. Write and finish. Write and finish without thinking of perception, without thinking of failure, without thinking of funding, without thinking of who's going to read it. You know, when I started, I was writing my book for myself, and my therapist said, you don't speak much. You see, today I'm like, walkie-talkie. She said to me, you come across as very cold, and you don't speak, but you've got a very heavy aura. So when somebody's next to you, they want to move away from you because they're not sure what you're thinking. And I used that to fuel my writing. When I was done writing, she said, show me what you have written because you do not speak. When she read my little diaries, she said, damn, you've got a lot to say. Why don't you publish it? Remember, I don't come from the conventional publishing route. I don't have a publisher. I had to start my own way. And when I did, all the publishers said, your book won't sell, not for the South African market, it's too graphic, nobody's gonna care about the story. Guess what? 25,000 copies later, 3 awards later.
Yeah.
3 awards later, education in the bag, learning experience in the bag. Now nobody can tell me what to do because I run the actual publishing industry at the moment, especially self-publishing. So write from your heart and believe every word you put down.
Yeah.
Don't question it. If something is the way you see it in your head, write it as if it's still happening. Do you understand? Don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't worry who's gonna fund you. Don't worry about publishing. Don't. That's not your problem anyway. These editors and all these people will assist you when the time is right. So believe in that writing process. That's all you have to do. Everything will work itself out when you're done. Finish the process first.
Woo.
And I'm so sorry if there is a publisher here. Anybody that gives out publishing deals.
Yes.
Do the math, guys. I did the math. 6 publishing deals that came to me. I did the math. And I was like, nah, come on, man. Do the math, guys. Do the math. I'm a financial bunny, right?
Yeah.
Now, I believe in a product. I believe in assets. Assets are there to ensure that you can make your money. Now, I don't think, and I say this very honestly, I don't think even with the 3 of us here, there's anybody who went into the writing process trying to make money. When you write, if you read any ode about writing, it's not about making money. It's never really about making money. A lot of authors will say to you, I write because it's my passion, I want to tell my story, whatever it is, right? For me, part and parcel of it was also a branding exercise. Now, even though it's not about money, there is a financial backing that you need to put into your book, whether you like it or not, because there are editing costs, there are printing costs, there's writing, the time that you take to write a book, all those things do cost money, right? Now, when the publishing deals come, they are great because you want to feel honored, you want to feel wanted, you want to feel liked. And I mean, Jackie's experience is different from mine. When they read my sample chapters, they were like, oh my goodness, this is South Africa's new rich dad, poor dad. This is, you know, they gave me all the you know, they did it all. Then they send the publishing deal. Yay! Let me tell you, the numbers don't sangana. The numbers do not communicate very well, right? And it's simply because they take a product from you and they own it for a couple of years and they sell it on your behalf, which is great. It's great because they give you the editor, they give you the typesetter, they give you all those things and all those people. But the reality is that it now, there's a transferal of asset. And because I'm the financial bunny, I'm all for ownership. So it is important that if you are going to go down the route of writing and you want to write, somebody who is an amateur, I'm very new in this space, the one thing I can definitely say to you is do the math. Ask yourself, is it, because you also don't want to sit back and not push your books. At the end of the day, the bargain books of this world, they want to help you. They're there to help you. Their job is to make sure that you've got access. Because you can write a great book, but if no one is going to sell it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you want to get into the bookshops. But when you get into the bookshops, you want a proper partnership with them. You want them to know that you are willing to push for your book. But when you've gone through the other people and you're only getting 5 rand from that entire deal, you're not going to push.
Yeah.
You're not going to push, I can assure you of that right now. So it is important because it is a partnership. Writing a book with the stakeholders that get involved is a partnership, and it's important that you do the math. And as I'm the financial bunny, you better do the math, man.
It's very easy to start writing a book. I'm still thinking about it. But well done to TT, I must say, and also the ladies. I think TT took what I think a lot of people wanted to say, and he put it in a book. And for that, it's a well done, because we went through 14 days quarantine. It's madhouse. Not only in your house, but in your brain.
Yeah.
It messes you up. So to that, well done. Congratulations. And we'll do make sure that we push that story, because, you know, on a daily basis, I mean, I had a call yesterday, someone already is on COVID, you know, so you can imagine how they feel. And if we don't speak, if Titi didn't decide to write that book, whether he did it out of anger, out of joy, out of money, out of numbers, you know. So, but at the end of the day, so what I wanted to find out, especially from Nicolette, you read a book called, you speak about The Millionaire Next Door, or Next. Yes, now, obviously in that book, there's a lot of American way of doing things. And how did you convert some of the stuff into the South African way of doing it?
I've never received that question before. And I think Jackie answered it very well. Tell the story. You know, even when I started doing financial education, I never went and looked for like a YouTube channel that does financial education. When I wrote the book, I stayed away from reading any book that had to do with finance. In actual fact, I had written the book by 2019, August. The book was supposed to come out. I'm sure those who follow me on social media were saying, where's the book, where's the book? I then did a tour with Airports Company South Africa, and I sat down and spoke to a lot of people. I mean, I think we spoke to almost 400 of their staff. I came back, I read my book, and I was like, no man, I've written what is on Google. And I was like, no, this makes no sense. You can't talk about a lemonade stand in South Africa. South Africa, we sell ice blocks.
Yeah. Hey.
We sell cook sisters. We don't sell lemonade. You know? So it was very important for me to tell the story as is. And in telling the story, I had to dig deep into my own personal life. And funny enough, again, Jackie said something which happens to me quite a lot with male partners. They come to me and they say to me, are you gonna tell people about my money stories? I'm like, I'm not gonna write about your money. I'm gonna YouTube about it. I'm like, no. I tell my own stories. And for a very long time, I only spoke financial education about things that I had experienced. So whenever people used to ask me, can you talk about this? And if I didn't experience it, I wouldn't speak about it because I had no expertise. And in actual fact, one of the things that I write about in I think what do you call it? I call it a love letter in the book. I speak about the amount of times that I had, what is it called? Not even writer's block. I had like when you get doubt as to why am I writing this book? Imposter syndrome. I got imposter syndrome so many times writing this book because I kept asking myself, how dare you think you can write a financial book? Who do you think you actually are? And I had to stop and say to myself, but I use money every day. We all use money every day. All of us sitting here, even you being here today is a financial decision.
Yeah.
What you are wearing is a financial decision. How you got here is I'm sure there are many of us who would be rather driving a different car here.
Yeah.
But your pocket is like, relax, we're not there yet. So a lot of what we do in life is financial decision making.
Sure.
The people we have access to is a financial decision making, right? So I think that for me is how it was easy for me to localize it. And then also, most people will know I don't like Robert Kiyosaki. And I know that's horrible for me to say because he is like the godfather of financial education. And the only reason why I don't like him, by the way, I don't discount his lessons. I think his lessons are amazing. However, I dislike the fact that a lot of South Africans take his lessons and they want to make them as if they are relevant all the time in South Africa. They are not.
So my question is to the panel. My question is, how do you sort of toe the line in terms of keeping healthy boundaries from the time that it takes away from you from having like authentic power, maybe with the people around you? Not necessarily.
Please summarize.
Okay. So how do you as a person, like as an influencer, make sure that you keep healthy? Like at the end of the day, you shut down all those feeds and what people's responses, and you for instance, you need to respond to 200 messages that you've sent to you. How do you do that and not sort of like lose yourself? And then my questions are two. When it comes to supporting like black businesses, the books.
No, say it black, it's okay.
How do you also find, what can I say, how does it become okay for you to not look at yourself in different terms from other people in a sense? So let's say for instance, there's within your circle, other people are not interested in the things that you're necessarily interested in. And you're trying to tell them that, hey guys, Nicolette, hey guys, this and that, you understand? You're trying to sort of in a way enlighten, or even kids, like school kids. But in a way, when they're sort of like not getting it, how do you manage to keep those healthy relationships, but still try to influence them to see things in a different perspective?
So for me, I can't even remember the first question now, brother, but oh, healthy boundaries. So for me, in terms of social media, I use social media to influence. I don't regard myself as an influencer, number one. I regard myself as someone who's influential. There's a difference between the two. Influencers are people who get booked to do certain things for brands. An influential person creates the influence for the brands to come to him. So I'm influential. And I use social media to drive the influence of my brands. And I'm able to separate the two. So I know that, you know, the power of social media can make you or destroy you. And one case in point, I always use this as an example, is if you look at someone like Nicolette, who had the best influence on social media, and she allowed it to drain her brand. So the power of social media must be used to your advantage, and you must be able to distinguish between the two. What is the second question? Okay, so how do you influence the friends that, well, look, you've got the power to own the circle of your influence. It's all up to you. The kind of people that you surround yourself with surely should say a lot about who you are as a person. And your interests should not be limited by them and the friendships that you carry. That's as simple as it is on my side.
Nice one.
I will start with the second question. My friends are influenced. They are there at the back buying my book. Shout out to my friends.
Nice.
But more than anything, I think, you know, one thing I learned when I started my YouTube channel, a lot of people at the end of the YouTube channel at the beginning, they say, please subscribe. I don't say those things. I don't need to say that. And this might sound arrogant, but it's not an arrogant thing. I don't say it because I recognize that if I say to you, please subscribe, and you subscribe because I have asked you, you are never going to engage with my content.
Oh yes, that's true.
I want you to subscribe because there's some value that you find from my content. So it's the same for me when it comes to the book. If you read the book and you like the book, you have liked the book. Other than that, tengile base, your money is there by bargain books. Just joking. But what essentially what I'm saying is, I think people will naturally gravitate towards what you do.
Yeah.
It is not your friend's responsibility to consistently uplift you and tell you you're great, or to say yes, you're doing good. That's not their job. Their job is to support you where you need support. And if they are not the friends that, guys, remember that friendship is a privilege. Friendship is a very big privilege. And it's important for you to remember that you take what you take, you leave what you leave.
Yeah.
You can't force a friend. I'm not married, so I could be talking really sideline here. But for me, friendship is almost the same thing as marriage. You take what you take and you leave what you leave. You can't force somebody to be something they are not. So if your friends do not believe in what it is that you are doing, you gotta do friendship audits. I do friendship audits, by the way. Every 6 months I'm sitting there saying, hey, Mara, Tabo's wasting my time, and maybe I'm wasting his time. It's okay to let go. Because remember that friendship is a series of beautiful moments. And when the season is over, the season is over. Right? Going back to the first question, look at my teeth. My teeth were not like this. My teeth were very skewed. One was behind the other. I went on social media the one day on YouTube. Somebody wrote in a comment, Nicolette, with all the money advice you give us, the least you can do is fix your teeth. So I did. So you know what? When that moment was supposed to take me and break me and throw me to the ground, I took it, I uplifted myself, and now, darling, I'm in commercials, and when I smile, you're just like, way! Beautiful teeth. So I think it's important, again, with social media is take what you take, and leave what you leave. Not everything is for you. You are not money. Not everyone's going to like you. And it's okay. Keep it moving. How do you maintain your healthy boundaries? You remember that it's social media, and it's a very small drop of South Africa. Let me tell you that for a fact. People, you know, I want to see people on Twitter going, oh, the country is burning because something on Twitter is burning. Yo, do you know how many people are on Twitter in South Africa? Trust me, it's a very small portion of South Africa. There's a whole lot of South Africa that you can influence. There's a whole lot of South Africa you still speak to that you don't need to sit on social media. There are people who don't have even a Twitter page or a Facebook page still in this country. People don't have it, and they are not bothered. Some of them didn't even know what was happening with that brand. Some of them didn't know what was happening with Nicolette. Some of them don't even know us. So really, you know, you keep it moving. I'm with the young kids who say, we move.
Yes, girl.
Give babes for the announcement.
Yes, girl.
So, not forgetting, our stage was sponsored by Sasa Creations Home Decor Boutique. They came on board and said, we will do the things that make the pods look nice. They sponsored the stage, they sponsored the flower backdrop, they sponsored the, what do you call this in entertainment world, the music, the, There's a word for it. No, it's not sound. Sound is very. Thank you, ma'am.
Listen to this award-winning one.
Thank you, ma'am. No.
No, with your sound.
No. There are adjectives to these things.
Come on, girl.
The sound is what you hear from your ear.
Acoustics.
Acoustics, yes.
Oh,
So they. No, audio is the feedback from the sound. Smart. It's a book tour, so we shall educate.
Oh, yes.
So they sponsored this beautiful stage and the lighting from Skylami. But they sponsored this, so thank you so much. The ambience is good, right? So thank you so much for sponsoring the sound and the decor. Another thing, I don't think I'm going to really answer your question because they've said so much. For me, I don't take things personal unless I know you and you attack me personally on social media. Do you understand what I'm saying? If I know Nicolette and she attacks me online, then it's personal.
Yeah.
If I don't know you, I block.
Yes, yeah.
If I don't like it, I block. I don't even waste time to ask you, how did you get to that conclusion? Because obviously, by virtue of what you're saying, that's not really criticism, it's an attack. You are undermining my contribution to the platform. So I block you. So you go harass somebody else.
Yeah.
For me, that's my policy. I do not allow you to get into my space unnecessarily if it's not for positive engagement. Easy.
Yes, girl.
Another situation, what's your second question? Frenzy. I mean, I've got 3 friends. The other people don't count. And then I don't personally write books for race, number 1, for you to like me, number 2, for a certain audience. I don't do that. I don't have an age group. Whereas people will say, are your books for male or female?
Yeah.
Are they for black or white? Let me tell you the black and white story. My mom was black, her best friend was white, but my mom's best friend paid for my school fees at school. So I don't subject myself to the black and white race thing unless you target me with a black and white situation.
Yeah.
Then I'll give you a good answer. However, I was raised in a white community, I went to white schools. If you offend me with the race card, I will tell you where to get off. Yes, I can smoke a burki.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't do the race thing very well. And if you offend me and you say, are you writing for black people or white people? I'm like, dude, I write in English. So take it or leave it. So if it's comfortable for you, take it. If you feel like I should have written it in Nguni, I'm sorry. It's not what I know. I don't know how to write my own language fully in a space of literature. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it's just black history. We were not taught that. So, but if you're going to say, is it for white people, for black people, it's for the young or old, my book is for everyone. That's why I personally put the affirmation and I said, it's a classic. Yeah. Everybody will read it.
Yeah.
From now till 2030, for 2000 when I'm gone. It's not for any age group, it's not for any race. And don't come to me with my art and want me to now categorize it because of your selfish opinions.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, that's the end of that. One more last question and then we do the book signing.
Yes, please. And then we have to wrap up.
And we're wrapping up. This is the last question.
Congratulations on everyone on the books. My question is to TT. During your time with COVID, which I believe was tough, what's the one thing that kept you going? Did you ever get to a point where you wanted to give up? Like, I just want to know what kept you going.
So so my recovery process was a 19-day process of recovery, and I got to a point, I think on day 5, where my mental state it consumed me, it drained me. You watch the news and all you are seeing is deaths. So many people are dying, so many people are dying. It does mess up with you mentally. And I then made a decision to stop watching any news. I got off social media for 3 days. And what that did is it prepared me to.
They will be stocked anytime that you want to come in. Please do. It's nice there. Eh? Put the books are going at nice prices there. But of course, a special shout out to the Protea team. I can't stay. Thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic. Rian from the Protea team and Clay from Booklingo. Yes. Yeah, Clay, guys, Clay. Oh my goodness. I got Clay from Jackie. And she has gone through the most with me. Absolutely, I think both myself and Jackie. She has gone through it all. Like literally, she will send Claire, you started the writing journey with me. From book 1. This is now 2016-17. I cannot thank you enough for your wisdom, your patience when I was impatient. The late night calls, the harassment that I bestowed on you. You helped me when they tried to rob me of money, hundreds of thousands rand. You fought for me to get my money. When contracts were bad, you fought for me. So thank you for teaching me. I cannot even thank you enough. You literally are the backbone of publishing for us because you give us the honest truth. So thank you. I mean, till this day, you still run around to make sure that my books has ISBN what? My books are well edited. Like you make sure. And then Ryan from the also Kailami Corner for always making sure that we have the best of the best events. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you so much. And I cannot forget, if I forgot this moment, I will never forget it, especially on social media. I have a very strong benediction.
Yes.
The people who go by the best series, they are massive. And yes, most of them are not here because they're in different provinces. Others are working, others are mothers, funerals and COVID. But wherever they are in the world, thank you.
So pretty.
Typhoon and a pink.
Yeah, I also want one.
I really want like a bright one. Left, right.
Woo! It's the girls.
So pretty.
Very pretty.
Nicolette, Phamotse.
Banna ba? No, Nicolette, no,